might not be of any use. Safe to say that he has stated a very clear point that we are extremely concerned with the attitude of the state institutions, particularly our army, particularly our police, that they view the MDC, a key national state actor, as an opponent. We do not seek to replace the army. We do not seek to replace the police. We do not seek to replace the CIO. We seek to replace those who are at the top, who are abusing these institutions. Because that is what the Constitution asks us to do. So to call us a terrorist party, a terrorist organization, where have you seen a terrorist with a headquarters along the same road as the Parliament of Zimbabwe? Where have you seen a terrorist organization? And even ZEC, including ZANU-PF headquarters. Where have you seen a terrorist organization that would use placards to engage the government instead of using arms of war? We use placards because we believe in the democratic tools, such as demonstration. Where have you seen a violent party that believes in rallies as a way of dealing with the government? We go to rallies because those are democratic tools. We are not like ISIS or Al-Shabaab or Boko Haram, who had headquarters in the mountains. We have our headquarters at this house because we believe in democracy. Because we believe that to remove a government that is not performing, we must go to an election. And we have won elections. They've refused to give in to the will of the people. And that's why we are in the situation we currently find ourselves in. So I just thought I needed to put into context the aspect that we are not a prohibited organization. We are represented in parliament. In fact, we are the government, the local government. We are the government in parliament. We are even the government in this country because we were voted by the people. And that has to be understood. That has to be understood because in as much as Mr. Mnangagwa is saying is the one who is declared. But we are there because for you to be declared, there has to be a contestant. The contestant is there. So we are part of the matrix of a government. And in that context, you can't try to bastardize or criminalize a party. This has happened before. It happened to Joshua Nkomo. It happened to Ndabaning Stole. It happened to even my brother in Christ, the Reverend Bishop Abu Mzorewa, who was arrested when he wanted to go to Israel to pray in 1982. The charges were thrown against him. So it's not something new. They've done it to President Tsvangirai. You know the Ben Manashe case. You know what they did. I think Mr. Monzora represented this guy, Muzorewa, you know, during that time. Now you see where we are. They are trying to do a Morgan Tsvangirai on Chamisa. It will not work. Even if they take us to jail, they cannot jail the wills of the people. Yes. Even if they arrest us, they will not be able to arrest the problems affecting this country. Because problems are not solved by vindictiveness. Problems are not solved by revenge. Problems are not solved by a way of wanting to pursue the path of vengeance. They have saged Harvest House ever since this party was formed for arms of war. The only arm they have found is the arm of love and peace. They've never found anything here. We believe in our open palms, not in all these things that they believe in. And we've said, look, even if it is going to take us a very long period of time, our visionary, Mr. Tsvangirai, said that we must always use democratic means even to fight undemocratic governments. And this is what we are pursuing. And we make no mistake. This whole thing, Chamisa has incited violence. How does giving an insight to a population amount to insight? Incitement of violence. How do you say that? You also want to say because you contested and defeated me in an election, I must punish you. And if you look at all the witnesses, Mr. Monzo, not a single citizen had an issue against Mr. Chamisa.
Oh, yes.
But you would find that it is some in the state who are obviously working on a scripted, choreographed narrative to try and say we want Mr. Chamisa to come. How does Matanga speak about incitement and then says Mr. Chamisa is given a position, so we are waiting? Why should law enforcement be subject to some of those vicissitudes of political consideration? Why? But it shows you that there are issues to nudge me into a forced arrangement, into a forced marriage, into a rape. You know, I want love, I don't want rape. You know, and this is why we've said we want political dialogue in this country. Not this whole thing of trying to force us and do also. We have said to Mr. Mnangagwa, here are the issues. Let's resolve the issues that are on the table. And we've raised those 5 issues. We are ready anytime to engage anybody, including Mr. Mnangagwa, to resolve these issues. Because people are suffering. And we want answers. We have those answers. We have the answer sheet. They have the problems and the questions. And we want them to also be able to interact with us so that we articulate the way forward. So yes, we are very clear and we are ready for whatever eventually. Some of us are ready for whatever is going to take us. Because you cannot defeat the truth. That you cannot replace the reality. The reality is that we have been given the mandate by the people. Yes. That's why you see our rallies across the whole country. They show one thing, that we are a people's party. And we shall remain so. We shall not betray the people. No amount of skullduggery, machinations, chicanery, or hallucinations are going to move us from the position that we've taken. So thank you very much, Secretary General. You provoked me to say something I didn't want to say. I must give you credit for that provocation, because it's a positive provocation. Thank you very much. So yes, any questions? We thought that we needed to give you our briefing on these things. I'm told, you said there's a letter that has come. I said, Secretary General, read it. I'm too charged to read that letter, so please read it and interpret it to me. So he read it to me. It's very clear that they are saying, Mr. Chamisa, your name has been mentioned, so we want to hear from you about your role that you played on the 1st of August. Can you imagine? I actually didn't know about the 1st of August event. I only heard about it from some other person who actually called me, and I will mention at the appropriate time. That's what I first knew about. MDC does not organize those tiny little ad hoc demonstrations. We are not an ad hoc party. We are not a red organization. We are an elephant organization. Yeah. When you organize things, we organize elephant things. Elephant demonstration. Not these funny things that you say and we know what they did. Because under a drunken stupor, they start saying things, those people. Some of cousin was saying to Mr. Komish, yeah, we're in charge of what happened on the 1st of August. We hijacked it. Huh? And you are in government. You want to tell us that you are clever than all of us. People saw what happened. Now, what they don't know is that we have a footage of whatever happened in the city. And we want that footage to be honored and respected. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes.
My name is Tolis.
Tolis.
I just wanted to get a clarity from what the ST said his last line. He said that you have set some condition, and in his last line he makes an innuendo to say if Chamisa is to appear before the commission, what happens to John ought also to happen to the other.
Wow.
Are you suggesting that probably a set of conditions say all those that have been named in the commission of inquiry, like the vice president, the president?
We are very clear. Those names that have been mentioned, whether by mistake, by malice, or by anything, in as much as we doubt and question the credibility of the commission, we still feel that if they are to be fair, what is good for the goose must be good for the gander. And they must be able to invite Mr. Mnangagwa, they must be able to invite Mr. Chiwenga, they must be able to invite Mr. Kemba Mohadi, they must be able, and that's why we have said there's folly in that kind of a commission. Because you can't invite Mnangagwa so that you report to him. Mnangagwa can't investigate himself. He has been implicated. Because if he has been asked to say he was written a letter but there was no instruction that came from him to say that letter be deployment or whatever, then he must actually come and explain that position. Because that is the most crucial matter. That is the nerve and the crux of the matter, as we say at law. And that is the matter that has to be questioned and interrogated. So yes, we would want to see also if Mnangagwa is going to go. If he's not going to go, then why should I go alone? We want everyone to go because I have nothing. I have clean hands. I have not done anything. In fact, you know, every statement I've said is all on record. all the rally, and the beauty of it, during the campaign time, all the 87 rallies I had, and my movements were all under camera because we were doing a film, which was called the Walk of Giants. So it's gonna come and it records everything, including when I went into the toilet, when I left the toilet, when I went into the church, when I left the church, when I called a friend. So I don't know how they are going to survive this one. By God's providence, I have been protected and covered. So I don't know how they are going to do it, but we have evidence to show what I did. And what I did, instead of being thanked for really trying to manage peace in this country, you are being attacked for your magnanimity, for your generosity, for your pursuit of peace. I have never seen this. I'm actually shocked. The one who is kissing you are biting. So I hope I've answered your question. It's not the only one. They must also be able to be very explicit about what they are talking about. You can't just go because a name has been whispered in your ear that you want to see something. There must be, and we're not going to review the details because I think it's also prejudicial to the so-called commission. So we will not review the details. I think the SG has already given you the details. Anyone, any other question? Yes, my brother.
Yes, one from the Zimbabwe Independent. Are you going to appear before the commission?
I'm sure that has been answered, my brother. I know you want my voice very, very much, but let me give it to you again. We have said we will only be able to appear subject to certain. In fact, this is our own benevolence. We've said we have no time for these kinds of shenanigans because we know that this is a choreographed. They are working from a conclusion. Once you start to say we want to know what necessitated the use of violence, you're already saying that it was necessary. So you have a conclusion already, and you want to work from an answer. Now we can't have a situation like that. Once you want to say that who sent the people, you're already assuming that the people were sent. Why? What about if they were not sent? How does that term of reference become relevant? So it's clear that it's working from an answer, but it is a script. The script is to decimate the opposition. The script is to destroy the MDC. The script is to make sure that there is no MDC. In fact, what they wanted was to then even have people who would testify to say, we have pistols who were given by the MDC, we shot at people. Can you imagine somebody having the audacity to tell people that when they came into town, people had already died? Huh? And that person is the one who is telling you that Chamisa has a case to answer. Why? Because he's scared of Chamisa, or has been sent by his masters to say, go and deal with Chamisa. Yeah. Now, tell you what, you can arrest Chamisa. That's not arresting the problem. Yeah. This nation is deeply divided. In fact, there would be no need for a commission of inquiry if there was no crisis in this country. It tells you that there's a crisis. We have a deep-seated division in this country, which cannot be resolved by this kind of tomfoolery tactics being, undertaken by our colleagues. They need to sit down, calm down, engage each other. ED must stop going around the whole country talking about international re-engagement. What international re-engagement are you talking about if you cannot re-engage nationally? You can't even talk to your brother Chamisa, who wants to give you ideas and wisdom by osmosis. You don't want to respect him. You don't want to respect him and just say, let's come together and resolve the issue. Affecting the people. What is that? Yes. My brother.
Yeah, in reference to arrest which you mentioned, during his testimony, Commissioner Matanga mentioned that you will be arrested anytime. What's your response to that?
My brother, I'm already under arrest. By being an alternative in this country, it's called a crime or it's criminal. Yes. So the fact that I have just stood up to lead people, my offense is not that I've done anything wrong. It's just because I challenged somebody and I'm insisting that the truth has to be said. And they are not happy with that because they want to thrive in conditions and circumstances of darkness. But I'm not moved. Let them do what they want. There is always going to be the day for the man who is committed to change in this country. In fact, ED is very lucky that he has a patriot and a Democrat across the aisle. He must consider himself very lucky. We've taken our time to pursue democracy and not violence. We've taken our time to pursue circumstances of engagement and not divisive and vindictive politics. And that must be honored.
All right, we're almost done. We're almost through. We're almost there.
Why? Because we believe that our nation is far more important than any of us in our individual sectoral considerations. And that's what we have said. So I'm not moved by anything, my brother, that, an arrest is nothing. You know, our forefather, founder.
Apologies for that. The network keeps playing up. Big up to everybody who's watching us live.
The president was arrested many times on false and spurious charges. Even Jesus Christ, my role model, was persecuted on many occasions for no apparent reason. Somebody just wakes up to say, Chamisa is incited. What have I done? Is it a crime? Is it inciting people to be a candidate in a presidential election? Is it inciting people for me to be an alternative in a country? Is that an incitement? It only happens in banana republics and rogue regimes. And I hope we are not in this situation for a long time. Thank you. Last.
Lecture from 263. Mr. Chamisa.
Yeah, well done. I mean, 263, I like your stuff.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You have some very refreshing perspective. Yeah.
All right, fine. I was about to say, you have on a number of occasions dismissed this commission, but in your view, how was the nation supposed to deal with the August 1 shootings? What was supposed to be done from an opposition point of view?
I think the Secretary General said it. The first thing we have to restore in this country is integrity and the truth. There are people who have the audacity to come and lie under oath and then pretend as if everyone else is not seeing. And what they are seeing, they want everyone to believe what they are seeing. That's bizarre. So integrity is key. Why is it key? The first respondent, the second respondent, the last respondent in this matter is the head of state. Because you can't tell me that there are people who are supposedly holding guns in a country and you don't do anything about it. It's normal business. MDC has a military wing. They are training people at Afghanistan, and it's normal. You have a terrorist organization in a country. You engage that terrorist organization in parliament. You go to an election with a terrorist organization. Is that normal? But it tells you one thing. Lies have very short legs. Mr. Mnangagwa is the head of state. Whether declared, undeclared, elected or unelected, that's another thing. But he is there. He must be able to account for everything that happens in a country. A commission of inquiry is not necessary. We need a commission of inquiry for other things, like Itai Zaman. Those are the commissions of inquiry we would want, and having Interpol also coming. Not this one. This one is a straightforward matter. And the key question is, who instructed people to shoot at people? Who deployed the soldiers? Those are the key questions. In terms of those who demonstrated, the police were there when people were demonstrating. They must arrest whoever was there because they were with the people who were demonstrating. They must not even look at it. So and so incited. How do you incite a person? In fact, how would I incite people on the 31st when I was waiting for elections elsewhere to hear the election, because I was really, and I was sure that they would declare the proper result.
All right, guys, that was the MDC Leader Nelson Chamisa addressing a press conference today. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live. Yes, the MDC Leader coming from Morgan Changirai House together with the SG of the MDC. All right, big up to everybody who was watching us live. We have Rosie Teresa. Enough respect. Says ngavape mwana magigs ake chembere ngadzizorore ingasekuru vakavhuma wani ngaabvumewo kubva. Ignatius Mugwagwa eheje tanga takamirira dog. Mashumba Mothers, Golden Dundu Sando dzina dog, a DJ Vast zviri kufamba here. DJ Vast, how is it over there? Mashumba Mothers ngavambomupawo mani kubva rini achitaura chokwadi mufana wayo ane bhonzo renjanji. Golden Dundu back again. Yes, Elton Simbarasha ZANU-PF no more Taneta Alliance only. Mashumba Mothers asizanwa nyarewo here kuudzwa chokwadi nomwana. Lamont Murape Mastermind Educational says thank you Boramberi doctor, enough respect. Was tarisaises ngabvume kutyiswa nebanga reuswa, ngabvume kutyiswa nebanga reuswa. Okay, Lamont Murape zviri sei. Nyasha Machaya Chisa Elvis Speedy says Doc Kumberi Ramemakadaro, enough respect for that one. Doc Muripi wai takumirirai. Alright, I'm here. Evelyn Piri, Christine Nyandoro, Mashumba Mothers vataurire zvibhakera zvavo zvine mwando mukati usavhundutswe. Elton Simbarash comes back. I'm 20, need a job, my mother in 5 years. Wanenge watarisira ini but no job. Thanks Tokosman, our father, our president, we love you. Oh, enough respect. Thank you very much. Says Doc, thank you for keeping us in touch. Evelyn Piri back again. Desire Lenience, Richard Majazi Tepo Moyo, my president, love you to do a lot. I'm behind you. Tembelani Chuma. Then we have Stanford Shayamano, Pascal Shuro, Dixon Runganga, Vafana the MDC Moripamberi, keep on the good work. Freeze Brian, we need change. Amana Kuzi Debe, Chamisa Chete, Ndiripa Cape Town. Yeah, onward. Zina se tirikuya udo kuzogadzira zvinhu. It's written kuti Father Chamisa wachatonga. Enough respect, guys. I try to read everybody's comments. I hope andina wanda siirira. All right, subscribe if you've not done so that you never miss any of our videos. Dr. Clarence is the name. TV7 Live is the channel. Remember, we are Zimbabwe's biggest YouTube channel with 62,000 subscribers. As always, thank you for watching, and I am out.